Hello and welcome to Paper Pleats and Ribbon Roses. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on the 8-petaled hand-cut paper flower. It's probably going to end up being in two parts, the same as my 6-petaled one, but we'll see. This particular flower here, now the 8-petaled flower is also what I used on this particular card here that I had posted a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to show you a couple of others first before I get to this one. So this flower here, I really like how it turned out. It's very pretty. It has 6 layers of petals on it, and I used the Sophia paper pack for it. So I'm just going to demonstrate one of the squares to you, since I did show how I make these in my 6-petaled flower video. So for an 8-petaled flower, you fold it a little differently. I'm starting out here with a 2 by 2 inch square, and I'm going to fold it in half, starting out the same as the other flower, just like that. Now I'm going to fold it over once, give that a good crease. Okay, so now I'm going to take the top layer and I'm going to fold it back, fold to fold, like this. Okay, and I'm going to take the bottom layer and fold it towards the back on the other side. All right, so that gives me this shape here. So this is where you're going to cut. Same thing, you cut close to the bottom point, but not all the way down. And for this particular flower, I'm going to do a point on the end. So I'm just going to run my petal like this, and then do the other side as well. Okay, so open that up, and there we have a great little 8-petaled flower. Now you take your ink, and for this particular flower I use cotton candy, and you just put a little bit of ink and ink the edges of all your petals. This is really important because it gives your flower some dimension, and it also sort of hides any irregularities in the shape of your petals. So I'm not going to finish that. So you do your ink all of your edges. For this particular flower I used 2 2 by 2 inch squares, 2 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares, and 2 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch squares. That doesn't sound right. Let me check. All right, if I have to change those dimensions, I'll write them in my, can't find my ruler. All right. 2. I'm thinking it was 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Yes, sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so for this flower, it's 2 2 by 2, 2 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and 2 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch squares. So you're going to end up with 6 of these. After you've inked the edge, you can take whatever tool of your choice to curl them. I curl them up just with this, or you can use your bone folder to turn it over, since I'm curling it the opposite to the other flowers that I made. All right, and then what I just did was, with each consecutive layer, I used my tombow, and I just put a little bit of tombow, and then I would put my next on top, staggering the petals so that the petals are in between, and you just keep layering them, and then once you get to the end, you just poke a hole through with your piercing tool and put your flower together with a brad. All right, I'm going to try and move a little more quickly. So now, to show you the flowers that I did on this particular one, I'm just going to do one of the squares. I used the bottom layer was a 2 by 2 of the large flower, was a 2 by 2 of the black print from Wings, and and then a 2x2 of the pink print, which I'm using here from Unforgettable. And then the smaller flower on the inside was a 1.5 by 1.5 of the wings black print again. All right, so you fold your piece in half, you fold it corner to corner in half again, and then you take the top one and you fold it towards this side, and the back one goes towards this side. Okay? And on this particular flower, I sort of cut a sort of rounded, flattish petal. And then what I did was I cut through from the top of the petal, and I made all these little slits like that, so that when I opened it up, I had sort of feathery petals. So I did that on all the layers. For the small flowers, I used a 1 1/4 inch of the black print for the bottom, 1 by 1 of the pink print, and then a 1 by 1 of the black print. Okay, and then you just curl your edges the same as the last one. Now I didn't put any ink on the pink layer, I inked the black layer with black, and that's how, and then I just put the little button in between. Okay, and then one more real quick one. I really like how this one turned out. This is a weed in Ontario. It's called a Black-Eyed Susan. And I used the print from Magic Moments. And this particular print here I used to make the button carnations. So just refer to my other video for that. And again, for each of these flowers, for the large one I used 2 3x3 inch squares of the yellow print, or the sunflower, folded it in half, and again, okay, fold this side over to that, and fold that one over to that. And again, this is a little bit of a different petal. I made a nice long skinny petal, rounded at the top. Okay, and open that up. Okay, come on. There we go. Maybe not quite as skinny as that. And then I use the sunflower ink, and I, excuse me, I inked this, all the edges quite a bit with this, like that. And then I also inked the center quite a ways out so that it would show beyond the center of the flower. So I just inked the center like that. I curled the leaves under like that, and then make the second square, and you just layer it on top and in between, and then make one of the button carnations to put in the center, and there you have Black-Eyed Susans. I will post the sizes of all of the papers that I used for these. Thanks very much for joining me today. Take care.